Hi, welcome and welcome back. I hope you're doing well. If you're new here, I'm so glad that you have stopped by, or maybe you're a new subscriber. And if that's the case, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for subscribing. If you have anything in particular that you'd like for me to make a video about, then let me know in the comments, or you can send me a message and I will do my best to accommodate. Also, wanted to let you all know that I took some time to group some of the video content. I have almost 200 videos here, literally. I'm really close. And I created some playlists. And I really want to make sure that you all are able to find the information that you're looking for, or the insights that may help you to identify, navigate, and ultimately heal from narcissism and narcissistic abuse, and really regroup and refocus ultimately on your health and well-being. So I created these playlists, and let me know what you think in the comments, or you can send me a message. Ultimately, I want you to be able to find what you need quickly, easily, stress-free, not have to do a lot of digging. So hopefully that helps. When you're done, the narcissist in your life may want to know one of these things. One is, why'd you block me? Why'd you just cut me off? Or why are you ignoring me? Why are you not answering me? Because the narcissist in your life is insecure and has a need for constant attention, validation, adoration, praise. Essentially, they're looking outside of themselves to get core needs met. Maybe you've gone no contact. Maybe you've gone low contact. Maybe you're gray rocking. If you're doing any of those things in an effort to protect your peace, which you should prioritize above all else, then the narcissist may feel some kind of way about it and may want to know why you're blocking them, or why you're ignoring them, or not responding to them, or blowing them off, or what have you. And they may bombard you with those kinds of questions to get your attention, get your engagement. A second thing that the narcissist in your life may want to know the answer to is, can I stay in touch with you? Can I? Can I stay in touch? This could be the case, say, if the narcissist is more of an acquaintance, or maybe a fake friend, or someone that maybe you met through work, a colleague perhaps. Or it could be if you encountered a con artist or a scammer. They may want to know if they can keep in touch with you after you have made the decision to remove yourself from the situation. You may not be aware of what's going on, but they are going to want to know if they can keep in touch with you, and especially if you were providing some kind of resources to meet their needs. Perhaps you were providing them with your intellectual property. Perhaps you were sharing that, or maybe you were providing them with money or a place to stay, or they recognize you as somebody who's well connected, so they may want access to those kinds of resources. Either way, they're going to want to know if you can stay in touch, or if they can kind of circle back to you. And they may actually say that to you too. A third thing that a narcissist may want to know is, how much do you know? Like, have you figured everything out? Have you figured out the game that's being played? Have you figured out that you're being used, that you're being abused? Have you figured out that they have no intention of changing and that you're being played? Do you realize that they have stolen from you? Do you realize that they have taken advantage of your kindness, and possibly and oftentimes mistaken your kindness for weakness? A fourth thing that the narcissist in your life may want to know is, who do you know? If you're done and you have gone no contact, you have shut the door, locked it, thrown away the key, they're going to want to know who you know. They may want to tap into your network to jump to someone else, and ultimately the goal is the same, to get their needs met by someone other than themselves. A fifth thing that the narcissist in your life may want to know is, what are you doing? What do you have going on? If you provided a lot of resources to the narcissist, whether it was your time, material resources, attention. You really boosted their esteem or helped them out when they were in a jam, or maybe even covered for them. If you struggle with codependency, then they're going to want to know what you're doing, in their absence. They may even stalk you, or they may tap into other people who know you or who are dealing with you more currently to find out or to get a feel for what you've got going on or what you're doing. If you're dealing with someone online, or the narcissist is stalking you online, they may be checking out your social media to see if they can get some kind of an inkling of a clue as to what's going on in your life, who's in your life currently. A sixth thing that the narcissist in your life may want to know is, what gave me away? This may especially be true if you were dealing with more of a con artist or a scammer. They may want to know, or may be curious as to what gave them away, especially if you disconnected from the relationship before the narcissist had the opportunity to carry out whatever plans that they had and then discard you first. They may want to know what gave them away. This information would be valuable to them, especially if they're more of a con artist or a scammer, or they're really running some big game and maybe there are multiple people involved. I've certainly been in those situations, and they'll want to know what gave them away, because once you've removed yourself from the situation and they go on to find other sources of supply, they're going to want to know like what to do, what not to do, what to avoid, where they slipped up with you, so that they can make sure to course correct and improve their game going forward. A lot of people don't realize that there are people walking around out there that think this way and that are like this. I think that's why it's so important that we talk about it. And I know a lot of people who have been in situations where they got scammed or played or screwed over. And while granted, we don't want to get into what I call a post-traumatic pissing contest. In other words, comparing stories like, well, okay, well, you went through that. Okay, well, I went through this. Well, hey, if you think that's bad, check this out. It's not about that. It's about getting the information out there and being able to share with people different angles that narcissistic individuals, especially those that are more con artists or scammers, are up to, and how they're playing people, so that people can avoid those kinds of things. Times are tough right now, and for a lot of people, every dollar counts. Their time is critical right now. They don't have time to waste on people who are deliberately setting out, no matter, regardless of what adverse childhood experiences they might have been through. We can all sit around the campfire and tell stories about crappy childhoods and all kinds of things that were done. It can be embarrassing to talk about the ways that you got played, especially if you consider yourself to be someone who's intelligent, who's well-read, who's well-informed, who's very well-traveled, or even street smart. It's tough to talk about those things, and a lot of times that's one of the things that leads people to not, say, compare stories or to engage in conversations, in addition to the lies that the narcissist spreads. But people will hesitate to engage with people who were involved in getting scammed or conned collectively, because it's embarrassing. It's very humbling when you've dedicated a certain amount of time and poured energy and other resources into someone who literally was playing you the entire time. And we know from a trauma-informed perspective that adverse childhood experiences can lead to changes in the brain chemistry and changes in the body that will lead to acting out in ways that are socially inappropriate, but maybe biologically on point. However, when you're on the receiving end of that, and you're in a recession, and maybe you've lost your job, or you've had other things going on, or your health has declined, it kind of hits a little different. So we can talk about it here, and hopefully you will comment below and share, one, any additions that you have to things that the narcissist is going to want to know, especially when you've removed yourself from the situation, or perhaps you were discarded, and also what your response has been to those kinds of inquiries from the narcissist. What did you say? What did you do in the moment? How were you approached? It may help someone else to better identify, navigate, and ultimately get on the path of healing from narcissistically abusive relationships and make better choices going forward. When you are done with the narcissist, they don't like it and they don't want it to be over, because at their core, they are looking for other people and other things to fill up and to meet their core needs. And that is not your fault. That is not necessarily your job. And that is certainly not your problem. The more that you know, the more that you share about what you've experienced, and the more that we can talk about these things, these kinds of approaches, these kinds of tactics, these kinds of patterns of behavior over time, the better off we will all be as a community. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, prioritize your self-care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.